what's on the menu tonight. We're going to talk about our staffing a little bit, who we are, how we support the district, our strengths, accomplishments, what does our work look like during the day, and then some challenges and next steps. So this is our org chart. These, if you can read, we have a few people in the office. We have Jackie, Debbie, Tanner, who have been here. We also have a new dietitian named Zoe, and then we have myself. And then we also have Craig, who works in our warehouse, and Cedric, who is our maintenance mechanic for our kitchen equipment. He goes down and takes care of everything for us. So with the staff, what I've noticed is they're very talented. We have good bones, we have good structure. They have a lot of institutional knowledge, which is important for me coming in new, so I really lean into that a little bit. And they're also very student focused. How do we support the district? The obvious one is we provide meals, breakfast, lunch, and snacks. What's not as obvious is we maintain financial solvency. So what that does for the district, we don't pull any finances from the general fund. So we're enterprise department, so we're self-funded. So that, to me, that supports the district. Get some water real quick. Okay, we also try to create positive experiences for students. So, they come to us for meals, which is something they like. We keep them from being hungry, help them study, full bellies make better students. But also, when they come through, we try to provide a positive experience just to add to the day, so like a value added. And we also cooperate with schools to help them navigate NSLP regulations. This is mainly around fundraising. So we have to help them navigate some federal regs that has some time and item restraints on what they do. Okay, strengths and accomplishments. Our team is a strength. All our people, the staff, the kitchens, our workers, our district level people are definitely a strength for us. Our students are also a strength. Student focus is a strength, like a mindset that we have in the department, and positive energy. Okay, and we also, one of our strengths, what was the strength when I came and I found here is there's been some turnover in the department. So there's been different leadership, a pandemic, a lot of different things that happened. But they maintain service levels to the kids. So to me, looking back, the last 2 or 3 years is extremely important. It shows the strength of the staff and what the commitment they have to the kids. Okay, so some numbers. Everybody likes numbers. Breakfast last year, this year we're now 359,000. Lunch is about 835,000. Second lunches, which is unique to this district, I think it's a very important service. So 26,000 of those, and then 69,000 snacks. So for a district this size, that's pretty good. Okay, what does our work look like during the day? What everybody sees is front of the house. We see is serving kids, talking to kids, kind of what you see at the serving line, but it's kind of like an iceberg, that's the tip. Everything that's going on behind and beneath and below is constant activity. From the time we wake up in the morning, usually calls start at 5:30 a.m. Staffing comes first. You gotta get the school staffed up. Then it's just basic operations, ordering food, storing food, moving things around, taking care of the equipment, a little bit of marketing, facility design, working with the bonds, constructions. For me, it's staying abreast of federal regs, trying to stay ahead of those things that are coming down the line. And then it's just constant recruitment, positive, trying to set up the focus of the department, set the tone. So the challenges for us, to avoid this little cartoon for sure, we don't want to fall into that trap, which I think is really easy to do. NSLP nutrient standard progression is something we're going to have to look at the next couple of years. It's proposed now, but if the nutrition standards get more strict, it's going to definitely be a challenge for us to find the foods, and also a challenge for our students' palates to adjust. Staffing, we've heard about this. It's not going away. I think we are. I think staffing is what it is. We kind of just got to get used to what's out there. We have to recruit differently, and I think we have to think out of the box. We have to become more efficient, so we don't need as much staff. and we have to train the staff and keep them committed. Construction renovation is always a challenge. It never happens as fast as you want it to happen. It never happens the way you want it to happen. So we just have to adjust to those things. And then motivating staff, that's a constant challenge, I think, for us and anybody else that's in the retail world. Okay, next steps for me is just to learn more about D2. Been here 2 months, a lot of observation, trying to make, build relationships, which is something that we need to continue to do. So that's, for me, that's what I have to do. Also, recruit, retain, develop staff. So I think you recruit good people, train them well, and then try to keep them. So my philosophy on staff is, I want to keep you. I want to pull you back. I don't want to push you. So for us, it's trying to get that talent pool that we need, we can develop them up, and hopefully compete with everybody else around us to keep them. And I engage with students, collaborate with schools, and just elevate the service to the kids. That's it. It's done and dirty for me. I'm much better around the table breaking bread than I am presenting. And I'm better in Q&A, so.
You can cook it.
You can whip it up or you can grab it. The apron will keep you clean. So. Does anybody have any questions about food service, kind of where it's going, what you would like to see, or kind of take up the rest of our time?
I don't think we really have too many questions, seeing that you've only been in your role for about 2 months, but I think you've got a good foundation to build upon. You seem to have your plan in place and ready to activate, because we're hustle and bustle here. We keep it moving, so
it's busy. Yeah, it's good though. We do have a plan, we have a vision, and I'm more of a kind of a slow grow to go fast kind of person. So I think we got to get the foundations in place first. Number one is the right people. Number two is to build them up, train them well, and then number three is stay student focused. And I think we just keep changing with the times. What we get always done is not going to work any longer. So we've got to start thinking ahead. And I'm always thinking 3 steps ahead. So hopefully everybody in the office will start come along that journey with me, and we can just keep things going in positive.
Sean, can we go into the second lunch program just a quick minute? I know we've talked about it before, but I think we're the only district I know that even does it. So can you talk about what that looks like and how it helps our students?
And what that looks like is very unique. Like Dr. Berhenzel said, is a student comes through, gets their normal lunch. They get a lunch, they're still hungry. So they can come back up and get a second lunch, which could be some entrees we didn't serve the first time around. It could be a deli sandwich with a side of fruit, another milk. It's a complete lunch. It's funded through the district. It's not funded through federal funds. So it's very unique and very special. And I think it's a huge benefit for kids who actually need that. Because for some of our kids, the portions that we serve is not enough through federal regulations, so they don't have a meal going home. So this gives them that extra satiety they can get as they leave school.
And board, just to keep you updated, we've never had, in my experience, a licensed nutritionist on staff. And so that's a huge add for this department. And we will be using that person to help with our athletes and what they're eating, because we know they're not eating the most nutritious things. Sometimes that's their choice, sometimes that's all they can, grab and go. And so when we are looking at getting our athletes really ready to perform, whether it's a band student, whether it's a football player, what should they be eating and putting in their body, and helping kind of train them and their family about what that looks like. So super excited about that person coming in to change some eating habits for our students.
Yeah, thank you. That's we have two dietitians on staff that way. Myself and Zoe. So we have good coverage that way. For the supportive ancillary like that, chocolate milk's a big thing. By previous district, we work with the coaches. We have that available for them when they leave the weight room. They can get the chocolate milk, which is good for protein, carbohydrate, all that coming in. And then any traveling, we work with the weightlifting team, the football team. We send them meals because they know there's a long wait sometimes. It's something that's really easy to do. We can do it at cost. So it's not a money maker for us. It's all about supporting the athletes and the students.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. So glad to have you. I just have a few short questions.
Sure.
You had said that food and nutrition services is self-funded.
Yes, ma'am.
So then that frees you up to provide caterings outside of the district or with our charters?
It does.
Okay, good. And also you were saying that one of your focuses was to retain staff. Do you or will you allow your staff to use their creativity, so to speak, and go off the grid with your menu items?
Yes, my philosophy on that is we have rules and regulations just govern our funding, but that does not mean you can't be creative within those rules. So yes, to an extent. Now, there's some things we just cannot do. But can you be creative within a set of boundaries and rules? Absolutely.
I mean, can you add an extra pound of butter in and, oh, and do you provide catering? So, say in the 23-24 school year, maybe you might consider providing the board with a sample meal.
Like some smoked pork barbecue, some hot Atlanta hot chicken.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that is in the plan. That was part of discussion with Shelley and Dr. Hansel. And students first, so we're going to get that kind of, not corrected, but kind of get that on the right track. Because I don't think it's broken. But then that is the next step, is some catering for things like this or some functions inside the district. And then also we have some plans to do some offshoot kind of things with kids and breakfast and things too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just got a quick question. So, the laundry list of things that you're coming up to speed, you made mention of federal regs and changes. So I'm curious to know, like, do you see any challenges right now with, like, our things still evolving to a point where we're gonna have to make adjustments and how the program is administered, or can you just give us a little bit more of an example?
Yes. From the nutrition standpoint, if they progress with the proposal, sodium drops on another level, which is very, very strict. Right now, what we're serving is what you get if you went into the hospital with a heart attack. That's the level of sodium we're at. And they want to cut it even more. They want to reduce free sugars, which I'm not opposed to that. Because what they did is when they replaced salt with sugar in the previous version of Rush development on the manufacturing side, so now they're coming from the sugar side. And then fat is also a thing, and then chocolate milk seems to be a hot topic too, flavored milk. So I'm more of a balanced person. You know, I think you can probably fit everything in within reason. So that'll be a challenge for us. And the biggest challenge for that will be the student palate. We can buy it and produce it all day long, but the students are adjusted to another set of lower sodium, lower fat type meals. On the financial side, there's 40 cents right now that's a temporary addition to each lunch for federal reimbursement, 15 on breakfast. That falls off in 2 weeks. So there's 2 proposals out now that's running through different legislative branches that add that back. One is a permanent, and one is just another year extension of that. But I don't know if they have a lot of legs. If they don't, that'll be adjustment for us too. So we'll see a little bit of about a 10% reduction in federal reimbursement per meal. But with healthy meals for all, that takes our 20% of our CEP population, our meal count, at a lower rate, bounces that to the total free reimbursement rate. So that offsets that plus CPI per May was 4.1, so that'll go on the base of reimbursement as well. So I did a calculation today. We should be to the good of 450 a year, 450,000. So it's all a big machine that comes out of the wash. It's still going to be positive. So financially, it should be fine.
Sean, just out of curiosity, sorry, how much does a school lunch, I mean, we serve everyone for free, so I apologize my ignorance. How much does a school lunch cost how much would we charge if they were gonna pay for it? How much does it cost to make?
So a paid lunch depends on where you start from. There's purely, there's a whole other host of regulations, how you take the price structure up. Where I just left, we made this adjustment, we're at $3.75 for a paid lunch. With the cost of everything, it's in the last 3 years, it's gone up. If we can hit a plate cost of $150 to $175, then you're good. Then you got labor on top of that overhead. So basically, we're an enterprise. We're not supposed to talk profit and positive balance sheets, but the real word is you got to be positive on your balance sheet. So you gear for break even, but you always hope for better than that. So yeah, it goes up, and reimbursement has not kept up with the price of inflation, and that's why you saw that 40 cent, 15 cent thing from the beds came through last year. It's kind of like a little
prices have not gone down, they continue to go up. And if they revamp the nutritional requirements, manufacturing retooling is gonna have an expense with that as well. So manufacturers are gonna start sending that down the line. So we used to, entrees were 55 cents. Pretty much we get 55 cents from mainland distributor. Now if you hit 75 cents to a buck, you're running. Breakfast is the one that really went up. We were losing money on every breakfast where I came from because we were only charging $2 and the cereal they got almost $1 a portion. So school food service was squeezed the last couple of years. The next 2 years will be really telling on who can run a business and who can't. So while it's, it's philanthropic and it's grant and it's all good, feel good stuff, feeding kids and all that, there's definitely a business side to it to keep everything floating.
I just have a couple of comments. So, I am super focused on health and wellness, so this is exciting to me. I have tons of ideas, Dr. Hansel, about, nutrition and all of that stuff. But, I just want to say thank you so much for keeping our students at the forefront, because I've witnessed, and I know other people have witnessed, students in the cafeteria line who get to the register and are told that they don't have any money on their account and are turned away just for their lunch to be thrown in the trash in front of them. That's humiliating. And so I've heard this from people that I know who have said, I will pay for that kid's lunch. And so it's heartbreaking to hear that, but it's wonderful to hear that it's a priority. The experience for our students is a priority, because everything that kids learn in school, from the classroom to the cafeteria to the playground, follows them, and that's what makes great students. And so I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your vision, Dr. Hansel. I appreciate your work and the work of your staff, to think outside of the box and really do your due diligence to find that funding to support our students. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I will say, I was the director for 10 years plus, and I was assistant, and prior to that, we never turned a kid away without money. We always had, the money problem is our problem, not parent problem, is not the kid's problem.
Right.
So, if I got a 6-year-old in front of me who doesn't have money, it's not his fault. So we still feed them and smile and thank them and send them away.
Maybe we can share that with other districts.
Well, Mr. Burdette, thank you for the job that you're gonna do.
Appreciate it.
And 2 months that you've done so far. And I look forward to having you with us for, a part of this big green family of ours.
I look forward to staying here. I look forward to retiring from here, so as long as you'll have me, I'll be here. All right, thank you.
Thank you for the gift.
You're welcome.
Next time you could have a substitute thing too. If it was a cake or a pie. I'm just saying. Thank you, please. But it's like.
Are we taking the order?
We prefer you make it.
Definitely, yeah, we'll have to do that. We'll have to knock that out. All right, moving right along to item number 5, communicating to the public. Oh, you got a little ways to go. You're a lot early. It's all right. It's quite all right. You're a little further down on the agenda. It's been a long year, Shelley. It's okay. Item 5.1, recognition of our student board rep, Nyasia Ali. Nyasia was selected to serve as Sierra High School student board rep at the end of her sophomore year, and we have watched her grow and enjoyed her involvement in CASB. Many students have benefited from her leadership skills. And thank you for being a leader with the Casby Student Strand and for being the voice for all students in our district. And personally, from me, I have watched you grow so much in these past 2 years. I'm extremely proud of you, especially because you're going to North Carolina A&T. I was hoping so much that you choose a big band, not a big band, but a big school in the South. So I'm so proud of you. I know you're going to do phenomenal. Look forward to your future projects in PR, your documentaries, anything that you create. I can't wait to say I know that student. I know her, and she's doing a phenomenal job. So extremely proud of you. I believe some of our other board members have a few feelings towards you as well. And it might be a little lengthy. We might have a few tears running up here for you, but we'll get through it.
Well, thank you for being your authentic self at all times. Thank you for what you have done as far as being the voice of those who are seen and those who are unseen to us adults. I'm looking forward to your greater, and I know you're just gonna shine, and don't forget about us. Okay? But go be great.
Naisha, you are a leader. I've observed it with your cheerleading. I've seen you just get a whole gym riled up, and I was amazed. But that is a testament to your talents, your skills. From a North Carolina lady here, if A&T doesn't work for you, try an HBCU in Durham and North Carolina Central. Okay, that's where I'm from. So bless you and best wishes.
And I just want to say, one of my mottos is keeping it classy. So you did just that, representing as part of the leadership strand. So thank you for doing that with integrity in class. And I know that you're going to do great things. I have no doubt in my mind. So I will be paying attention, and just call me if you need me.
I just want to say thank you for being confident and brave. Thank you for being brave, because I watched you grow over the last year and a half. Watching you talk about things that were difficult, sharing that information in front of the public and the board. And you're an inspiration, you're a leader, and I can't wait to see you.
And before you take your picture, I just need to say, you had the best kindergarten principal, right? And I have seen you grow from 5 years old, and I am so proud of the young woman you've become. And it's just amazing to see other students gravitate to you. When we see you at Casby, when we see you at Sierra, in the hallways, students just gravitate to you, and they feel safe with you, and they look at you as a leader. So with that comes a large responsibility, and I am so proud that it's you that's going to have that responsibility, because I know you'll do great things. Thank you from our team here at the district. We can always text you, call you, and say, Naisha, we've heard this is going on. Tell us what's really happening. And you were honest and transparent with us, and you would tell us, you guys better listen to the students because they have things to say. And you gave us the pushback we needed to make it better for all students. So thank you, thank you. Never keep quiet. Keep using your voice, and I can't wait to see where you go.
I was just thinking when Dr. Berhanzo was speaking, about inspiration, because I know I came up to Sierra for 6 months straight working with the student government, or student council, I don't know what y'all call it, when I was in school 18 years ago. However, there's something that I say now to young people, and I just shared with some young people that were going away to college, and I said, take the pool with you. So the acronyms for PULL is Phenomenal, Unapologetic, Legendary Leader, and that's how I see you. So take that pool with you, girl, to school. Thank you.
And we do have a gift for you and would love to get a picture to solidify you leaving us so sadly, but happily support you in your future. We'll go out front. This is for you. Thank you so much for all you've done to help the community. All right, we will move right along to item 5.2, public comment. I don't think anyone signed up this evening, but we do have our new principal at Stratton Meadows Elementary School with us this evening, Ms. Carolyn Lays. Is that correct? We want to welcome you to the HS2 family.
I'm really excited to be here. I'm so excited to be here, and I thought I would just come to see what this is all about. So it's so lovely to be welcome. Thank you. You know, the thing that I've noticed in my just kind of month time period is very student focused. I came from another district in town. I had been there for 18 years, so this is a big switch. But it's such a dramatic switch for me because it's not just the focus on children, but the responsiveness of the people in this building. I can't tell you how many emails I've sent asking questions that are very, probably not real smart, and I get instant response, and I get help and support, and so there's such a lovely servant leadership attitude,
Yes, ma'am.
supporting the schools, especially new principals, so thank you for that. It's nice to be here.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we're definitely happy to have you here. And we keep students at the forefront of all decisions. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Right, I will move us right along to item number 6, matters reserved for board action. Item 6.1, our official notice of intent for the district to participate in a coordinated election. And has everyone had a chance to review said document?
Yes.
And do we have any questions or any other points of discussion? All right. Then I'll move right along to item 6.2. Now we just need a motion, and that language would need to be included there.
I move to appoint Norma Arambide as,
No,
wait,
it's the
6.2, right?
there's language again, a little bit further down.
It's not online. Okay, now, I move that the Board of Education of Harrison School District 2 in the County of El Paso, State of Colorado, Board of Education shall conduct its regular biennial, did I say that right? Biennial school election on my birthday, November 7th, 2023, as provided by state law, and participate in the election coordinated by the county clerk and recorder of El Paso County. The Harrison School District 2 shall contract with the county clerk and recorder of El Paso County for the administration of the regular biennial school election and enter into an intergovernmental agreement with El Paso County for this purpose. The county clerk and recorder shall serve as the coordinated election official, and the Board of Education designates Norma to serve as the school designated election official for the November 7th, 2023 coordinated election. Sorry for my bloopers, guys. I apologize.
And that motion has been placed.
I second.
Motion by Representative English, second by Mrs. Salazar. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Item so moved. Now we will move right along to item 6.3, fiscal year 2023-2024 proposed budget and financial plan. Our very own Ms. Shelley Becker, Assistant Superintendent of Business Services, and our CFO. We got you now.
I'm gonna follow, Mrs. English, and I apologize for my bloopers. Oh my goodness, it's the end of the school year, a lot of exciting things going on, and I'm really excited to be here to listen to it. So, thank you. Unlike, last meeting in May, we have a handful of slides here, very excited, to present tonight to our Board of Education. The official adoption of our fiscal year 2023 and 2024 financial plan and budget. So again, action items for tonight, there are 3 resolutions that our Board of Education will be adopting tonight. We have the appropriation resolution, a resolution authorizing use of beginning fund balance, and then a supplemental budget and appropriation resolution. So tonight here, I just captured a couple of slides talking about our general fund. We went into at our last meeting talking about the proposed budget, but just as a quick reminder, very excited. It's been a great year for school finance overall. We're very excited about, clearly I am, about our budget. But what it has meant for school finance for all school districts in Colorado. It doesn't mean we're fully funded or where we should be. It just means that this has been a great year, but the fight continues in funding for all school districts here in Colorado. So again, just a quick refresher, school finance this year, an 8% inflationary increase. Student enrollment, kind of talking about that today. I think that's kind of an unknown, kind of could be exciting, but our budget accounts for a flat enrollment. Negative factor, again, hopefully as a state, we are just 1 year out for continued conversations and talking about the negative factor. Really excited about our salary and benefit increase for all employees. Yeah, I see some excitement. Really excited about that too for all of our employees. We've added some additional FTE, most notably, as we talked about last month, our special education. And again, very exciting from the employee benefit side with our medical, dental, vision, and para. And here we just list out where that FTE that we're adding into this year's budget. So just a real quick, again, for the general fund, total expenditures, for any that might have been on the board prior couple of years, if you look all the way to the left in 1920, you can see how we have grown at that time that year, total expenditures, just over 94 million. And the budget we are adopting tonight for our general fund, over 118 million. Again, we would be remiss if we were not looking into our future years as well. And again, just as we talk about negative factor, fingers crossed that will go away next year through legislative efforts, continuing to talk about compensation. Our federal stimulus funding, that's the next, really, I think that's looming from all of us. There's definitely lots of discussion that, hey, school districts, you all got this great chunk of funding, you should be good. Well, that's not, true. So definitely more to come on that. And as we talk about, I think discussion items for us and for our Board of Education in the future as we talk about the financial side of the house, talking about our expenditures, our fund balance percent, and then new and recurring revenue streams. And again, this just as we talked to our 5-year financial plan and forecast. And again, the changes talking to you tonight, this is the first time for me in quite some time when we have new changes. We are prescribed by law from a proposed budget to adopt it, to bring forward any changes. And I should have mentioned that at the beginning, but the information you are seeing tonight is the same financial information from May, so we have had no changes. It's really been a great budget year, building year, being able to have compensation identified early on and planning, so really excited about that. So tonight, in conclusion, I'm asking the Board of Education to adopt the 3 resolutions. Our total budget for the year, just over $203 million. Okay, our next steps. It's hard to believe, we're already, here's the part of the year, we're working in multiple years. We actually have our auditing firm on site in a week and a half. So finishing out there, so reporting of those results. School districts in Colorado are allowed by law to do a revised financial plan and budget in January. That'll be upcoming. And I know as we have talked before about future funding opportunities, legislative items, not only to monitor, support, but and participate. And this year, I'm going to be having future discussions about a committee, fiscal advisory committee. So, any questions? First of all, I would like to say very heartfelt thank you. Thank you to the Board of Education. Thank you for your support and dedication, trust and transparency. Dr. Hansel and my colleagues, and building a budget takes all of us. So thank you to all involved in this process at D2.
Well, Shelley, you know, we truly appreciate you for all the work that you do in-house and up in Denver when you're fighting with the monsters up there. but we love you. We thank you for keeping our children at the forefront, making sure that we don't need any more expertise other than the team that you have working for you. You're doing an amazing job. Love working with your team. You're phenomenal. Thank you. We truly appreciate you. Are there any questions or any other discussions before the adoption of the 2023-2024 financial plan and budget?
I just have a comment. I have been just in awe of how you and your team really present the information so that we can understand, but really the hard work and the dedication that goes on behind the scenes. This district is just so amazing because it's, from where I sit, it appears to me that it's the passion that drives every person in this district, story after story, but really watching your hard work and your efforts at the Capitol and always staying on top of things. I just really appreciate that, and that really makes me proud to be DT. Thank you.
And I would just add one comment that Ms. Becker always reminds us that our budget should tell what we value, and I think with the budget you see presented to you, you see what we value, and it's students, and then ensuring our staff can meet students' needs, whatever they might be. And I think it's just exciting to be able to support our students. We know they have a variety of needs, and they're all important. And so we're excited to present this budget to you and make sure that our students are at the forefront and then taken care of. Some other places you might see they get distracted by shiny objects or things of the day, and we stay focused because we have to for our kids. And so just really want to thank Shelley and her team because they keep us on course, keep us focused, and ensure we meet students' needs.
And
President.
it will be separate, sorry. It will be separate.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the resolution titled Budget and Appropriation Resolution regarding the need for this board to approve the budget of revenues and expenditures for the school district for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2023 and ending June 30th, 2024, and the allocations and amounts that are specifically identified in the resolution.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Wills Hill, second by Ms. Frazier. All those in favor?
Aye.
Resolution so moved.
I move that the board approve the resolution titled The Use of a Portion of Beginning Fund Balance as authorized by Colorado statutes regarding the need for this board to authorize the transfer and use of a portion of the fiscal year 2023 through 2024 beginning fund balance for the purposes named for each respective fund, the amounts and purposes that are specifically identified in the resolution.
I second.
Motion by Mrs. Wills Hill, second by Mrs. Salazar. All those in favor?
Aye.
Resolution so moved.
Mr. President, I move that the board approve the resolution titled Fiscal Year 2022 through 2023 Supplemental Budget and Appropriation Resolution regarding the need for this board to approve the adoption of a supplemental budget for expenditures not to exceed the amounts listed in the resolution.
Motion by Mrs. Wills Hill, second by Ms. Frazier. All those in favor? Resolutions moved.
Great, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you again, Ms. Becker. We'll move right along to item number 7, board consent agenda. These items have been discussed earlier in the passing months. All of our comments have been updated and added to those documents. The first is item 7.1, approval of minutes, work session May 4th, 2023, and board meeting May 18th, 2023. Item 7.2, OE5, learning environment, treatment of students, monitoring report by our own Dr. Mike Claudio, Assistant Superintendent of Personnel Support Services, and Ms. Nicole Shervin, Director of Student Support. Item 7.3, OE12, Student Discipline Monitoring Report, our very own Dr. Mike Claudio, Assistant Superintendent of Personnel Support Services, and Ms. Nicole Shervin, Director of Student Support. And for item 7.4, I would just need a motion.
Mr. President, I move to approve the board consent agenda items as stated.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Frazier, second by Mrs. Wills Hill. All those in favor? Items so moved. Item number 8, superintendent consent agenda. Again, these items have been discussed. Item 8.1, June 2023 personnel report and comparison report. Item 8.2, April 2023 financial statement. And item 8.3, I would just need a motion.
Mr. President, I move to approve the superintendent consent agenda items as stated.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Wills Hill, second by Ms. Frazier. All those in favor?
Aye.
Items so moved. Moving along to item number 9, monitoring board performance. Item 9.1, annual work plan and updated board calendar. Do we have any, I think we had any changes? There we go.
They changed the calendar.
Well, those haven't happened just yet.
Well, no, we have to
They're coming.
update the calendar. It's being updated as we speak.
Gotcha.
And, we took a couple of things off of the annual work plan that had been requested last week.
Oh, we did do some reorganizing, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
I recall that now.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, and item 9.2, proposed changes to GC2E. as stated.
Second.
Motion by myself, Mr. Williams, second by Mrs. Wills Hill. All those in favor? Those changes approved. Item 9.3, legislative updates.
Just a reminder that Ms. Becker and I will be leading the Pikes Peak Alliance this year, which is our lobbyist group here in the area. We have 9 schools currently. We're trying to recruit some more friends. And we are going to be starting in July. So we're not waiting until session starts in January. We're going to be proactive to get ahead of legislation and perhaps help author some bills if we see the need. So we're getting our notices out to folks next week, and we will be starting with a kickoff meeting in July.
That's right. What break? We don't need no break.
So, before we move further, what can the board do to support you, to help you to advocate, to get messaging? Do you have any ideas?
I have a couple ideas. One is, at a work session, I would propose that if there's any legislation the board would like to see or help move forward, we could have a conversation about crafting what that looks like. And then we haven't really discussed this, but the lobbyist group really has been superintendents and CFOs or business officers, but I think it would be great to have board members join every so often, either for updates or to give feedback and hear what we're hearing from the lobbyists. So how do we create those opportunities for the board? And then just your ongoing support, which you all have been very supportive, asking the questions, asking where we stand, what are the implications for Harrison on specific bills, because I think it's important that we understand what does that do to a student in one of our classrooms.
Does this alliance also speak directly or have some input with the CASB efforts? They kind of partner, or how does this?
CASB has their own lobbyists, and CASE has their own lobbyists, but typically all of them work together, and since it's education focused for the most part, and Rural Alliance, sorry, is another big one. For the most part, we're always usually aligned with what we're going to share, and so when we testify, it's someone from different groups, but really the same message. And so we do coordinate, and our lobbyists coordinate with the different groups of making sure the message or the key points that we want to either get across or get rid of in the bill are the same.
Thank you.
All right. We'll move right along to item number 10, to adjourn, and I would just do a motion.
Mr. President, I move to adjourn the meeting.
I second.
Motion by Ms. Frazier, second by Mrs. Salazar. All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. We made it. End of the 2022-2023 year.